Well, this guy's Knives and Watches, and I just want to show you real quick a more cutting piece paper. Is that amazing? Not in any way, shape, form, or fashion. But here's the deal. Now, are there some nicks in it? Are there some problems with the blade? Yes, there are. And I'm not going to sit there and lie and say they're not. Because it's obvious, anybody that's ever sharpened a damn knife, cut paper, this, there, or the other, that there are. But here's what I did with that knife. I took that knife and I beat the ever-living hell out of it. And then what I did with it is I took it on the Shapton stone, the actual diamond 100 grit truing stone, and found a corner and basically went to town on it just a little bit, just to blunt the edge. Then what I used to fix it was this diamond sharpening rod from EZE-LAP. I'll give you a close-up view of it. EZE-LAP diamond 1/4, you know, aluminum handle. Now this thing came with an aluminum handle and a sheath. The standard one, which is a couple dollars cheaper if you buy it on Amazon, is about $17, $18. The one with the aluminum handle is $20. What's the difference? Well, the aluminum handle, of course, is lighter, 1.8 ounces, okay? So this is not a big, heavy piece of anything, and of course, it goes back in itself, so it's pretty compact and easy to use. 1.8 ounces, Back in the day when they only made the brass handle, some people would just carry this and use this. Nowadays, with the aluminum handle that they've made for over a long time, it's really not the way I would go. Just pay the couple bucks and go with the aluminum handle. It's really nice. So, they say from EZE-LAP that this thing is 600 grit. Well, when you first buy this thing, it is not 600 grit. It is more like 50 grit. So my advice is, break this in the way you would break in any other diamond, and, you know, not on your best knife with your sharpest, with your best edge, Plus, there's a learning curve. You're going to have to learn how to use the rod, because, you know, it's a rod. It's not what we normally use. It's not laying on a table. It's not flat. We're not drawing our knife against it. So we have to come up with a new technique, new process. So, what kind of edge are you going to expect at first off this thing before you fully break it in? Well, I did it on a scanty grind knife. Scanty grind, man. That's scanty. It's not that there scanty. It's scanty. Why? Because we're in America, man, and we're from the South. Anyway, this Mora has a patina on it. It's actually Scandinavian, but let's don't go there. We're making a video, man. Okay. This has a patina on it. This is from my other channel. This is a Mora High Q Robusto, or I don't know, robust. Hell, I don't know what the hell they say. I really screw up languages after a while. You learn so many of them, you just start screwing them up. And I did this edge was like this because I haven't picked up this knife since the last video, which was, God, how many years ago? I have no earthly idea. And then started polishing it. And sharpening it. And breaking it in. And that's the kind of edge you're going to expect. Not the prettiest thing in the world, but it functions. And it gives you the ability to put a utility edge on something in the field. Why a diamond rod, not these other stones, this, there, or the other? Well, if you're carrying stainless steel knives, which this is not one, this is carbon steel. If you're carrying stainless steel knives or anything that's made out of particle metal steels like CPM, well, S30V or S35V, those are harder steels and you have to cut through that metal, and that's where diamond sharpeners, especially around the 600 grit, really come in. If you go back and you look at a lot of the people who design knives, this, there, or the other, and deal with the CPM, their favorite grit is 600 diamond on that CPM edge. Now, of course, I've used CPM S30V for, decades. Well, not decades, but way over a decade. And, you know, it's a great metal. But it will work your butt to death sharpening it if you're not using the right type of media. And if you're trying to get just a super da-da-da-da-da edge on it, it's just amazing. A 600 grit diamond stone CPM S30V, you're done. It's not the prettiest thing in the world, but buddy, that thing will cut. And it'll cut all day long. Da-da-da-da-da, this, there, the other. And you won't have a lot of things that I, won't have a problem with, describing on the channel, because I don't have a list in front of me. How do I sharpen with it? Well, let's pull this thing out here like that, boys. I'm going to set this thing on that there edge, man. And I'm going to reach through that there tripod. And this is where the Scandi grind knife really shines, especially for beginners. I can just sit there and hold that edge on that. The best thing, like when you're out in the field, if you want to find the best surface to hold this thing, take that point and just put it in a tree. And it won't take much force. And it will just, it's the coolest thing ever. And it just really works out in the field. Oops. Does not work so well on plywood unless you find a notch. But you just go through it like that. And you can do a lot of different things. When people are first learning how to do it, a lot of people, I just teach them to do it like this and then come down on it like you would do a Spyderco sharp maker. Especially if you don't have a Scandi grind. Scandi grinds I like sharpening like this. If I just have like an S30V, then I can come down on it like this and just do that, and oh my god, that just I just screwed up an edge right there. But anyway, let's just pretend I didn't. And let's live in imagination land of the video. So basically what I'm doing is I'm getting my techniques down, I'm getting my rod broken in, I'm getting this, there, the other done, and I am, learning in the process. Do not, how can I say this enough? How can I emphasize this enough? Do not buy this, put it in the sheath, throw it in your pack, and expect to be good to go, sorry. Number one, you're carrying a sheath you don't need, because why do you need a sheath for that? It's got its own sheath. Two, how do you have the experience with it? How's it going to be broken in? And if you're taking one of your fine knives out there, you want to sharpen it on a 600 grit diamond stone. You do not want to sharpen it on a 50 grit and learn and work through the process and really screw up a knife. Three, do not buy the one that has the brass handle unless you are just into retro cool. You do not want to carry this thing, or weight, you don't give a shit. You're a pack mule and just stick it on me, buddy. But, that's my point of view. I'm probably wrong. I normally am. But this is the very best way that I've found to sharpen harder steels. As I said, your stainless steel, your CPM S30V, your da-da-da-da-da. Any of the Chris Reeves knives, what do they call that thing? It's the Green Beret knife is how you're going to buy it. I always come up and screw that one up. I always keep wanting to go. My go-to term is the Yarborough. I can say that all day long. I cannot say Green Beret knife. Why, I have no idea, because that just didn't make a connection in my mind, man. But Yarborough, man, if I say that on video, most people go, what is that boy talking about? he just don't know what the hell he's saying, because that knife just, it's not, they don't call it a Yarborough. Anyway, any of those harder steels, any of your, like the knife that I'm going to review, which is the Benchmade, made for the explosives demolition team, and they call it a wilderness survival, or hell, I don't know what the hell they call it. Tell you the God's honest truth, I haven't even got the thing in yet. They're saying they're sending it to me, and in a Kydex sheath, which is kind of cool. I've seen the version in the leather sheath, but you know, I ramble and For your harder steels, this is the best thing that I've been able to come up with. And if you have an S30V blade in your pack, it is the way and the only way to go. Works with any steel, but man, those really hard ones, those diamonds cut right through it and give you a really sharp edge and give you a serviceable edge out in the field. Is it the prettiest? That's an edge only a mother could love. But I'm its mother, so it's just the way it is. I'll make it look pretty on a Shapton. I'll pull out that there Shapton, buddy, and start going to town. Yeah, boy. Go and get her done. Have a good one.